Welcome back to Department 88, Leadership Edition, where we explore the intersection of faith, neuroscience, and joy-filled leadership. I'm your host, Amy Charbonneau, and today's episode is one that I think every leader, whether you're leading a business, a ministry, or your own family, you need to hear. This episode is called The Joy-Fueled Leader, How Meaning and Mentorship Create Resilient Teams. But here's the truth. Leadership always brings pressure, but pressure is not the problem. Disconnection is. And joy is what reconnects us to meaning, mission, and people when everything feels heavy. So let's start here. Joy is not a mood. It's a mindset. And more than that, joy is a leadership strategy. Remember from Nehemiah 8:10, we read, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." That verse is not just poetic, it's prophetic. It reminds us that joy is a renewable source of inner energy that anchors leaders through uncertainty. In neuroscience, joy is one of the most stabilizing emotional states for the brain. It strengthens neural connections in the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, creativity, and empathy. When joy is high, the brain functions at its most integrated state. When joy is low, leaders drift into survival mode. They become reactionary, anxious, and disconnected. So if you've been feeling scattered, irritable, or uninspired lately, it may not be a leadership crisis. It might just be a joy deficit. So I want you to picture your team for a moment, your staff, your ministry, volunteers, your board, your clients, or your family. And imagine this. Every single one of them is wired for relational joy. The human brain develops resilience not by working harder, but by feeling seen, safe, and connected. When teams experience authentic joy through gratitude, laughter, celebration, or even shared purpose, oxytocin rises, cortisol drops, and collaboration improves, and it's measurable. Here's what's even more beautiful. Joy is contagious. The same mirror neurons that make mentorship powerful also make joy transferable. When a leader's tone carries calm, delight, and hope, it actually synchronizes the nervous systems of the people that they lead. That means your emotional state as a leader sets the thermostat for your team's well-being. So the question becomes, are you leading from depletion or from delight? Last week's episode, we talked about mentorship, how it helps leaders grow through relationship. But mentorship is also what gives work meaning. One of my favorite insights from the mentoring research I read recently is this. People felt most joyful, not when they mastered a skill, but when they realized their work mattered to someone else. That's because purpose activates dopamine, the brain's motivation molecule. When leaders connect everyday tasks to a higher mission, teams stay energized. When meaning disappears, motivation follows. Faith reminds us that all work, whether it's building a business plan or building a church, is sacred. And when it's done unto the Lord, the truth alone restores meaning. So when joy feels distant, don't chase happiness. Reconnect to your purpose. So let's talk about mindset for a moment. In my neurocoaching framework, we use a model from Dr. Shannon. And it's this concept that things happen in life. There are circumstances or situations everywhere all the time. Now, different kinds of circumstances generate thoughts. And you might be aware of those thoughts or you might not. But those thoughts have an emotion that follows in like 0.4 of a second behind it. Okay, if you repeat that thing, good or bad, over time, multiple times, you form a belief. That belief becomes a subconscious automation in your body, your brain doing things on default, governing your decisions, your actions, and then the results that you're getting in life. So when joy is active, it transforms every level of that chain. Okay, circumstances. The same challenge looks different when we see it through gratitude. Our thoughts. Joy reframes problems as opportunities for growth. Joy steadies fear and anxiety. Joy reminds you that God is with you and working for your good, that nothing is impossible, like you cannot fail. Okay? Joy fuels wise, peace-driven choices. Joy multiplies energy, creativity, and relational health. So leading with joy isn't naive. It's neurologically smart and spiritually strategic. Joy does not ignore pain. It transcends it with perspective. So how do we cultivate joy? Let's get practical here. If you want to become a joy-fueled leader, there are a few rhythms that can change everything. Number one, start your day with gratitude and stillness. Before you check your messages, thank God for 3 specific things. Gratitude activates the brain's reward system and sets your tone for the whole day. Number 2, practice micro moments of joy. Throughout the day, pause, celebrate a win. Woo! High five. Give yourself a little pat on the back, do a little shimmy, dance around, smile at someone. Take a deep breath and sigh it out. These micro moments regulate your nervous system. Number 3, mentor with joy. Lead from delight, not demand. Instead of correcting through criticism, coach through curiosity. Ask your team, what did you learn here? Instead of what went wrong. Okay. Number 4, celebrate often. Research and scripture agree. Celebration builds community and memory. Don't wait for the big victories. Make celebration a spiritual discipline. Celebrate every little thing, friends. Number 5, rest with intention. Sabbath is not weakness, it's wisdom. Sabbath was a gift given by God from creation. Joy actually thrives in rhythms of rest and restoration. One of my favorite things about the way God designed the brain is this: joy and love are stored in the same neural pathways. That means the same circuits that light up when you feel love also activate when you experience joy. It's as if God hardwired us to lead from love. And when leaders operate from love, not fear, not pressure, not performance, people around them flourish. That's why I believe joy isn't just emotional, it's actually spiritual alignment. It's what happens when our hearts are in sync with heaven's rhythm. The mentoring study I mentioned before had a simple but profound takeaway. When people feel supported, valued, and mentored, their resilience increases exponentially. Joy gives leaders the strength to remain steady. It gives teams the safety to take risks, fail forward, and grow. If your team feels disconnected right now, it might not be a communication issue. It might be a joy issue. Rebuild joy first and watch everything else begin to align. If this resonates with you today and you sense that your leadership or your team has lost its joy, that the work has become heavy or transactional, I want to personally invite you to take a next step. Let's talk. I offer a free 15-minute discovery call for faith-driven leaders who are ready to reset their mind, renew their joy, and rebuild their team culture from the inside out. Together, we'll identify the blocks keeping you and your family's or your organization stuck and create simple brain-based strategies to spark clarity, creativity, and peace. You can book your call now at the link in the show description below. Joy is the fruit of presence, friend, the evidence that you're walking with God and leading from overflow, not exhaustion. So this week, may you reconnect to the joy of your calling. May you find rest in meaning and laughter in the journey, and may your leadership overflow with the kind of joy that multiplies strength in others. Remember, the joy of the Lord is your strength. And when you lead with that joy, you build teams that last. I'm cheering for you, and I'll see you next week at Department 88 Leadership Edition. Bye for now.